Samsung doesn't look very interested in making the base Galaxy S26 feel exciting, and with every new leak, that idea becomes harder to ignore. 4 months now, the rumors around Samsung's next standard flagship have been painfully predictable, and the phone is shaping up to look almost the same, feel almost the same, and basically deliver the same overall experience as last year's model. For a short moment, there was at least one detail that gave people a little hope: the idea that Samsung might finally upgrade the base Galaxy S26 to 45-watt charging. But that excitement didn't last, because the very same source that first hinted at 45-watt charging later walked it back, and another reliable leaker also supported the idea that the base S26 will stay stuck at 25 watts. And the moment that news spread, a lot of the hype instantly disappeared, because people weren't even asking for something extreme. They simply wanted Samsung to stop falling behind in basic features like charging speed. The reaction from users makes this frustration pretty obvious, because in recent polls, almost 60% of people said they would rather see 45-watt charging than 25-watt, while about a third were still unsure, and what really stands out is that many users believe 45 watts should already be the minimum by 2026. Even more importantly, a huge chunk of people said they wouldn't even be satisfied with 45 watts on a premium phone in 2026, which should be a serious warning sign for Samsung. And after the 45-watt rumor got denied, the feedback became even harsher, because nearly 70% of voters said 25-watt charging is simply too slow for a phone launching in 2026, with only around 30% saying it still feels acceptable, which proves that charging speed is no longer just a small detail, but something that can genuinely affect buying decisions. This puts Samsung in an awkward situation, because the Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to support up to 60-watt charging, and the Galaxy S26 Plus may reach 45 watts, while the base Galaxy S26 stays limited at 25 watts again, making the standard model feel intentionally held back. Almost like Samsung is quietly pushing people to pay more instead of making the entry flagship more competitive. Now, to be fair, charging numbers can be a little misleading, because a higher watt rating doesn't automatically mean a dramatically faster real-world result, and efficiency, heat control, battery size, and overall charging behavior matter just as much. When you look at real examples, it becomes clearer, because the Galaxy S25 with 25-watt charging takes around 82 minutes to fill a 4000 mAh battery from 0 to 100, and after 30 minutes it reaches roughly 54%, while the Galaxy S25 Ultra with faster charging and a larger 5000 mAh battery takes about 69 minutes to fully charge and hits around 68% in 30 minutes. That difference is noticeable, but it's not exactly life-changing, and it shows that 25 watts isn't completely terrible, because for many people it's still usable and reasonably quick. But the real issue isn't only the speed, it's the expectation, because in 2026 buyers want progress, not excuses, and other brands clearly understand that. Phones like the OnePlus 15 push much higher charging speeds, and even when results vary, at least those brands look like they're trying to move forward, while Samsung seems perfectly comfortable standing still, at least when it comes to the base flagship. Samsung could still improve charging performance without changing the watt number by using better optimization, smarter power management, or improved battery tech to shave off a few minutes, but for many buyers that doesn't feel like the same thing as openly offering faster charging, because perception matters just as much as reality in the smartphone world. And unfortunately, charging speed isn't the only reason the base Galaxy S26 is feeling underwhelming, because design leaks show a phone that looks almost identical to the Galaxy S25, with the same general shape, similar camera layout, and nothing that really suggests a fresh direction or a bold change, making the whole device feel safe, predictable, and honestly a little boring. Even the spec leaks don't add much excitement, because yes, a slightly bigger battery and a new main camera sensor sound fine, but these are the kind of small upgrades people expect every year, not the kind of changes that convince anyone to upgrade, especially if you already own a Galaxy S25 or even an S24. The frustration grows even more once pricing and processors come into the picture, because the Galaxy S26 could end up costing more than previous models while delivering only minor improvements, and in some regions it may still ship with an Exynos chip instead of Snapdragon, which is always a sensitive topic among Samsung fans, especially for people who feel tired of paying more while getting less consistency. When you put all of this together, the conclusion becomes pretty clear, because the base Galaxy S26 doesn't feel like a phone designed to excite users, it feels like a phone designed to simply exist. Samsung seems confident that brand loyalty will do the heavy lifting, but in a market where competition keeps moving faster, standing still is not a safe strategy, and judging by user reactions, patience is starting to run out.